A very good evening to all, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is the 18th January 2024, Thursday class. So as usual, we will be sharing from this book, the Unique Dhamma Code. We are at Unique Dhamma Code 103. We completed 102. Okay, let us now gather and have our puja. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。 อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสุขะโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิ สุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโต อะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Turn to page 3 of the chanting book. We'll continue our puja chanting from Padipa Puja onwards. Ganna Sarapaditena Dipena Tamadang Sina Tiloka Dipang Sambuddhang Pujayami Tamonudang Gandha Sambarayotena Dopena Hang Sugang Hina Pujaye Pujaniyang Tang Puja Bhajana Muttamang Vanna Gandha Gunopetang Etang Kesuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siripada Sarorohe Pujemi Buddhang Kasumena Nena Punnena Matena Cha Hotu Mokhang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tatayati Vinasa Bawang Adivase no bante Paniyang parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang Adivase no bante Pale parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang Adivase no bante Bojanang parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang. Now we will chant our puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits, born of all these offerings, may our spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers, sharing and transform merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. This awareness-based meditation is very important, very useful. It is to help us develop the inner awareness. Once the inner awareness is established, your mind becomes meditative. Your mind is attentive, alert, just aware without thought. Ability to be in that state of attentiveness without thought is actually sati. So when you are just aware before the arising of thought, before the knowing. That is what sati is. So sati is just the pure awareness without thought. So you can be in that state, then you will develop sati. That's why we have the 4 support for awareness-based meditation to guide you, especially the first 3 support, where you're supposed to just relax body and mind completely. Relax into every mind state that arises. Whether there is any tension, tightness or stress within, you just relax into it. Similarly, physical body also same relax. When you relax, you no need to think. Just relax. Let things be. Then the natural state of mind, which is awareness before the knowing, they will manifest. Then after that, what we need to do is to develop the second support, maintaining awareness. If you can maintain awareness, means the mind doesn't move, doesn't think. But this understanding is not easy, because most people are not trained in awareness-based meditation. So for you to be in that state of awareness without thought is not easy. That's why the second support, most people find it difficult. So I need to explain a bit. That's why in the early day, I always tell you all, maintain awareness. Means whatever arises, aware, finish. That is the maintenance of awareness. Means do not continue with the thought process. Like I always explain, as a human being or as a living being, we have our sense bases, the 6 sense door. The 6 sense bases that can give rise to the 6 type of respective sense door consciousness, which means we can be conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactily feel and think. And this is the basis of life existence. This is how we know the world. This is how we interact with the world, through our senses. So whatever that can arise is definitely from our senses. So whatever arises, aware. It can be a thought, it can be a vibration, or it can be color, shape and sound. Whatever sense data that come to your senses. Sometimes it can be through the smell, or the taste bud, or bodily tactile. And sometimes you may recall through memory, recollect through memory. So all this is what is going on within our form and mind. So to maintain awareness is to be attentively aware, aware, aware. No need to know, no need to do anything, just maintain awareness. By doing this, you will start to develop the ability to decondition your heedless thinking, your habitual thinking. A cultivator that is not trained in awareness base will think a lot. Whatever arises at their sense door or sense bases, they tend to think, and they tend to create more proliferation of thought, triggering of the activity of mind. Either they react to sense experience or stir their mind, or act according to memory, which is full of their views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, including their habitual tendency to stir their mind and to react to sense experience. So all this is what you will observe if you are a cultivator, if you are attentively mindful and silent. So the silent mind that is attentive without thought is the meditative mind. So this second support is very important. Whatever arises, away, finish. Do not allow the thinking to continue or proliferate. Then the third support is to stabilize this process of maintaining awareness. When you can do it very well, until your this awareness nature become like very stable, until like you hardly think, you hardly move your attention away. Most of the time you are just with your senses away. Then by doing so, all of the thinking, the unfinished thought process or thinking, the Sankara activity, they will start to slow down until they become very quiet and very still. So this is what will happen if you are able to do the first three support well. Relax, maintain awareness, and stabilize the awareness. And when it happens, it's like suddenly your mind becomes very quiet, like there is a shift of consciousness. Consciousness suddenly shift from the noisy movement and thinking and habitual tendency to a state that is very quiet, very still, and very tranquil. And then you will realize your silent mind, which is also your true mind, your meditative mind. So when you can do that, means you have progress and you will understand the Dhamma very easily. Yeah, these are spiritual faculty that can enable you to understand spiritual teaching. When you are in that state of silence without thought, that itself is the awareness nature. That itself is sati. That itself is the meditative mind. That mind can see things as they are, can insight into phenomena and awaken, can silently observe what is going on to realize the truth, to see things as they are, to develop all the wisdom. That's what meditation is. Then for those who already have the ability to stabilize their inner awareness nature, then you can move on to the higher practice of developing the fourth support, which is trust. Trust. Trust here means we trust our true mind, the silent mind, the meditative mind, to develop the movement. There is no interference from the thought process, from our memories, our views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system. All this accumulated knowledge and experiences and conditioning, we set them aside. So trust means in that state of awareness, relax, with clarity of mind, stay around the heart area and let the awareness detect whatever is at the heart area. It can be a heartbeat or any vibration around there. Then stay with it. When you can stay with it, the mind will develop awareness over it. To be aware means the awareness and the vibration, they harmonize or they synchronize. Then they move as one in tandem. When you can do that, your mind becomes very quiet and very still, until finally all the vibration, the heartbeat or activity, they also slow down and become very quiet. Then like you don't breathe, but you are not dead. So continue to develop that. Then just trust your nature. Then this activity or awareness will move it will detect things on its own, it will activate and move on its own. So that movement is the internal movement, internal transformation. So when all these things happen, then the cultivator, the way, will understand what is going on. Then after you have developed the stability of it, all of a sudden the awareness nature will detect the gateway to your nature. And when it happens, the cultivator will know there's something very extraordinary and magnificent will happen when it detects the gateway. Everything just moves by its own through a natural state. That's why I hinted to you all in the early days. The gateway can only be located when your mind is completely silent without thought, without the egoic mind, without the other. It has to be that true mind, that pure mind. Then when it detects, a lot of things will happen. Initially, it's like all of your external yin-yang energy, they will melt inside there. And the product of that is the pure energy, the pure, what they call, energy that will manifest to develop the internal meditative movement on its own. That pure energy, meditative energy, that one is no longer yin-yang. Once it go through the gateway, it become like pure wisdom energy. And this pure wisdom energy, because it is already wise, it will know what to do, it will know where to activate and where to move. Then the byproduct of it also, you will come to understand. Most of the time, initially, is the byproduct is just gaseous. But the pure energy has a healing ability, the healing power, everything. Then it's like suddenly when this thing happens, your internal physical and mental, they like starts to develop the transformation from within. It is like a purifying process where all the toxin or whatever, it will be purified. Then your vibration within will start to transform too. It will become more and more refined, more and more refined, more and more beautiful. That's why this awareness-based meditation, the fourth way, the support way, is the higher meditative training, where only Bodhisattva who go the Bodhisattva way, they will do that meditative training. And that one is to go into our awareness nature. It's no longer just to realize a glimpse of that cessation within that nature. That silent mind or awareness nature can actually develop the internal transformation and movement until it finally can illuminate our nature within. That's why you will reach a stage which is very, very penetrative, where the Bodhi mind transforms until the Bodhi mind can illuminate that nature clearly within your nature. But before that thing happens, normally it will take a while, depending on your past cultivation, your wisdom, transformation, understanding, and all those things. Sometimes it may take a few lifetimes to perfect it. Sometimes it may take longer, depending on your training and your understanding. So this one is just for those who are already able to do the fourth way, to actually develop further understanding. You all can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the meditative states that you need to develop and maintain for as long as you can. Then, once you are able to develop this inner awareness within, you will have this ability to be aware throughout the day, leading to a very stable daily mindfulness. The ability to be aware within throughout the day, leading to heedfulness, is very important. Once you are able to develop this, the Buddha mentioned very clearly under Dhammapada verse 21, 22, and 23. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless, whereas heedlessness is the path to the dead. The heedless is as if dead. The heedful never dies. So that confirm, once you are able to stabilize the inner awareness leading to heedfulness throughout the day, you are destined for enlightenment in the here and now. And verse 22, 23 also support verse 21. Dhammapada verse 22, the Buddha says, the wise, they were intent on heedfulness. So once they do that, they will rejoice in the rhyme of the Aryas or enlightened one. So distinctly able to differentiate between the danger of heedlessness and the importance of heedfulness is very important. When you can intend on heedfulness, you will definitely become enlightened. That's why you will rejoice in the rhyme of the Aryas. Then Dhammapada verse 23 confirm, once you are heedful, he said, the constantly meditative, ever mindful, they will realize the supreme born-free Nibbana. So to be heedful means you are already trained in your ability to be aware, and the stability of it will make you ever mindful. Then you use that state of mind to meditate. It becomes constantly meditative. So the two components, ever mindful, constantly meditative, if you continue with this training, the steadfast one, they will realize the supreme born-free Nibbana, which is enlightenment in the here and the now. Okay, so now we will turn to page 6 of the chanting book, where we will do the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma savanan kalo ayang badanta Dhamma savanan kalo ayang badanta Dhamma savanan kalo ayang badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Tadeva manusana do bhagavati Swakato bhagavata dhammo Sanditiko akaliko Ehipaseko opanaiko Pajatang veditapo Vinohiti Supatipano bhagavato sangho Ujupatipano bhagavato sangho Yajñapatipano bhagavato sangho Samicipatipano bhagavato sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yogani Atta purisa pugala Esa bhagavato sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakineyo anjali karaneyo Anuttarang punyang ketang lokasati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, you can be seated, then just relax, maintain some form of attentiveness, then we start. So we'll continue our sharing from this book, straight from the heart, unique Dhamma code, as developed by me, Brother Teo. So we are at this page 29, unique Dhamma code 103. This is a continuation from the previous two codes. When you are able to develop this sati sampajana, then your meditative mind will become very different. You will actually develop a lot of wisdom after that. That's why unique code 101, I will read again. Sati sampajana will enable the mind to see clearly what is happening at every moment of sense experience, witnessing all the essential Dhamma arising and passing away according to the Buddha's teaching. When you can do that, you will enable one to understand the three universal characteristics of nature or the three marks of existence clearly. That's why you will develop enlightenment. Then sati sampajana is actually mindfulness with clear comprehension. Mindfulness and clear comprehension or sati sampajana will protect the mind from going astray and being deceived by the phenomenal world of consciousness, which we have already gone through. Right? So, Unique Code 103 is a follow-up from there. Once you are able to have mindfulness and clear comprehension, you will be able to develop all the clear understanding or wisdom to actually enable you to live the life of an enlightened being. So because of that, you will have sense restraint. So here the unique code, they come from understanding the Abhijja Sutta. So here I mentioned, with sense restraint, one cannot break the precept, because the mind with wisdom does not react or stir through self-delusion anymore. That's why whatever you come to perceive through your senses, because you already developed the wisdom and the understanding, that mind will understand, and it will be able to develop the equanimity or understanding to be at peace with all situations in life. Then there is just understanding that frees the mind. That's why I put here, with sense restraint, one cannot break the precept, because the mind with wisdom does not stir or react through self-delusion anymore. When that happens, one's thought process, speech and action are all in accordance with Noble Eightfold Path, leading to one's ability to arise the three ways of right conduct. So like I explained just now, this unique code comes from understanding the cultivation of this Avijja Sutta. As I explained before, there are 10 steps to develop the enlightenment in the Avijja Sutta's enlightenment cycle. So I will go through briefly with you all. Avijja is ignorant. So this sutta is a sutta on ignorance. So under this sutta, there are 10 steps. So as Kayanamitta, we by now should be very familiar. What is the first step of the Avijja Sutta? The prerequisite for enlightenment in the here and the now. Step 1 is having Kayamittas. So as Kayamitta, we walk the path of Dhamma to actually cultivate and develop the understanding. So Kayamittaship, like the Buddha said, is 100% of the holy life. So if you want to realize enlightenment in the here and the now, you must have Kayamittas. So as our grouping is called the Brother Teo's Kayamitta, so we will have a lot of Kayamitta. Then like I explained before, there are two types of Kayamittas. One is the normal Kayamitta that aspire with sincerity, faith and understanding to walk the path of Dhamma. The other one is the Kayamitta that has the Dhamma, means they have already realized. Then like the Buddha said, the best of all Kayamitta are the great beings, the Sammasambuddha himself. So he is the best. That's why he is a teacher of man and God. He can guide any being within the 31 plane of existence, especially living beings, human beings, devas, gods, etc. So first step, having Kayanamitta will go a long way, because when we are able to have Kayanamitta means we are associating with cultivators of the way. even before they become enlightened, at least they are Kalyanamittas. It's Dhamma friend that walk the path of Dhamma. But there are some which may not be so easy to come across or encounter. Kalyanamittas that has the Dhamma means they already cultivated, they already have the realization, enlightenment, and the understanding. And these are the ones that can guide you, benefit you, and develop the understanding for you to develop the faith to go this way. And they can also support you, motivate you, counsel you, and encourage you to actually walk this path sincerely, diligently, and with faith. So having Kalyanamittas, I will write down. The first one is having Dhamma friends or Kalyanamittas. So after you have Dhamma friends or Kalyanamittas, the second step is very straightforward. What is the second step? Opportunity to listen to the true Dhamma. So opportunity to listen to the true Dhamma. And after that, I better write it down. Faith in Triple Gem. So these are actually consequent, what they call natural consequence of happening. Once you have Kalyanamittas friends, Dhamma friends, they will be able to help you to understand when and where there will be Dhamma classes, retreat, meditation retreat, and also Dhamma sharing. So through all this, whatever spiritual activity you will come to know. That's why through that, you will have opportunity to listen to the true Dhamma. So as Kalyanamittas, we will have step 1, step 2, leading to step 3. When you constantly listen to the true Dhamma, what happens is your faith in the Buddha and his teaching become unshakable. So this one is very important. That faith in the Buddha and his teaching become like unshakable. So this one is a spiritual faculty. It will enable you to understand spiritual teaching very easily. So this faith is very important. The faith is developed through constant listening to the true Dhamma. Then when you listen to the true Dhamma, you see the beauty in the teaching, then you come to realize how special a being the Buddha is. He is not only enlightened, but he is fully enlightened. He has great qualities, perfect in wisdom and virtue. And you can say at the time when he arrives, he is the wisest and the most virtuous living being ever to be born. So to have him as our teacher and guide is truly a blessing. And we will have a lot of respect, gratitude towards the Buddha. That's why the faith will also be naturally developed. Thereafter we listen enough to the teaching, we come to know another very important aspect of the teaching. The teaching that he has taught us is complete about life. Once you understand his teaching, you understand life and you know how to live life, then you can free your mind from all suffering. Means enlightenment in the here and now is possible. That's why once you have faith in the Buddha and his teaching, it will drive you to cultivate, to develop sati, mindfulness. So step 1, step 2, step 3 is definitely very natural. As long as you are Kayametta, these 3 steps you already fulfill. So what is the 4th step after that? Huh? You will develop what? Once it drives you to cultivate, you will develop what? The initial wisdom. So this initial wisdom is called Yoniso Manasikara. So this one is wisdom. Manasikara is at the moment of sense experience. So wisdom at the moment of sense experience. Once you develop this, you will have the ability to have the 5th step, which is Sati Sampajana. So the 4th step comes through the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd turning of the Four Noble Truths. When you constantly listen to the true Dhamma, then you put it into practice. That's why step 2 is very important. When you are at step 2, that's why we have our classes at least Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, means 3 sessions a week. Then apart from that, we sometimes have our monthly gathering, or Dharma gathering, sharing, or sometimes we have our informal gathering. Then we also have our spiritual trip, our retreat, and all those things. Then we have our Dhamma website, our transcript book. So all these are the resources, or we call it Dhamma resources or material that can help you develop the wisdom, the initial wisdom. So when you constantly listen to the Dhamma or go through the website where you have the short video recording, audio and video, then you also have all the transcript books. Then we have also Dhamma session where we discuss the Dhamma, share the Dhamma. All this can give rise to the 3 types of wisdom that correspond to the 3 turnings of the Four Noble Truths, thereby enabling one to develop Suttamaya Panya, Chintamaya Panya, and Bhavanamaya Panya. So once the first 2 turning initial wisdom is developed, then step 4 can be established. Once you are able to establish step 4, means when you have wisdom at the moment of sense experience, what happens is at every moment of sense thought activity, or when you are living life, your senses are fully engaged. At every moment of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought process, once you have Yoniso Manasikara or the initial wisdom, you will not act like normal people. You will not stir your mind like normal people. Because Yoniso Manasikara is the wisdom at the moment of sense experience. This one will come out and prompt you. Then you will develop the appropriate Dhamma understanding to be at peace with that sense experience. That's why you will have more and more moments of peace, more and more moments of silence or awareness within. And once you can do that, then your mundane thinking will actually develop a shift, a sudden shift. Means throughout the day, most of the time now, you are just aware, or aware, then sometimes due to habitual tendency, they are not fully rooted out because the stability of understanding is not there. You may stir your mind for a while, but then the next moment when this Yoniso Manasikara sets in, spontaneously you will understand. Then you will develop the Dhamma wisdom. Sabbe Sankara Anicang, Sabbe Sankara Dukkang, then you don't move anymore. Or thing is just the way it is. Condition like that, things will be like that. Then mighty nature rolling by. So all this understanding, they will surface the universal characteristic, the Dhamma understanding, then the three evil rule and all those things, then the law of Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination. All this will surface and prompt you. Then your mind become very different. It's like transformed. It no longer like last time. Every time it stir, react, and oscillate between like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant, and become heedless. This one bring forth the understanding to actually make you at peace at every moment of sense experience. So when this one develop more and more, then you realize step 5 become natural. Sati stabilize. Then you can develop clear comprehension of what is going on in life, while at the same time you have stability of sati. That's why sati with clear comprehension or sampajana is step 5. Once you have this, you will never deviate. You will never do the wrong thing with the sati that you have developed. So your sati with clear comprehension is samasati, not the miccha sati. That sati will protect you, like Unicode 102. It will protect you and prevent you from deviating while cultivating, while doing the cultivation. Okay? So this is where this Avijja Sutta come in and move on to step 6 and 7. So step 6 and 7, step 6 is sense restraint. 7, 3 types of good or right conduct. So this is how the cultivation come about. Once you have the initial wisdom together with sati sampajana, this one will generate a lot more understanding, because sati sampajana is you are not only mindful, you have clear comprehension, means everything you develop is definitely on the right path. That's why this one will give rise to the third turning wisdom. And together with the third turning wisdom, the initial wisdom will stabilize. Once it's stabilized, because you are so mindful and so aware, there is no way you can break your precept. That's why sense restraint. Your senses are in restraint. Means it not only does not stir, it cannot do the wrong thing. When the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion is there, you will know. You will have gone through the cultivation where you arise the 4 types of right effort. First, abandon it. Abandon the wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong action that has arisen. That is the first right effort. Then you will also have the second right effort to prevent the arising. Once you have the initial wisdom, you can start doing it. Once there is sati sampajana, you become more stable. Then the second right effort, no problem. You can do it. So once you can prevent the arising of the wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong action, what does it mean? It means your sense restraint is there, understand now? Understand now? It cannot move already. Because you have the second right effort to prevent the arising of the wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong action. Then after that, you cultivate the 3 types of right conduct. The third right effort is what? Whatever virtue or goodness or wholesomeness or right thought, right speech, right action that are still not in you, you put forth the diligence and understanding to cultivate it. Once you cultivate it, it will become a part of you. Then the 4th right effort is to refine upon them and bring them to perfection. Once you can do that, the three types of right conduct will always be there. Understand? Your right thought, right speech, right action will always be there. That's why the four right effort will transform the sense restraint into step 7, which is the three types of right conduct. Actually, at step 6, sense restraint, you must have gone through the first 2 right effort. Otherwise, you cannot reach that stage. So once you have mindfulness and the initial wisdom, then your sense restraint becomes possible. The first 2 right effort become possible. Then after that, you do the 3rd and the 4th right effort, you will reach step 7, the 3 types of right conduct. Once you are here, you are at least a Sotapan. If not, Sakadagami. Sotapan is the first stage of sainthood. When you realize that, means you sever the first 3 fetters out of the 10 fetters that bind the living being to existence. The first 3 you already sever. Of course, the first one is Sakayaditi, self-delusion. Then the next one is what? You break the second fetter is what? You no longer deludedly hold on to right and ritual. Understand? Right and ritual has got no power over you. People tell you after you die already, you know, all these are delusion. Not the correct understanding. Because you know, he know you, he know me. No one born, no one die. There is no being inside that. It's just the existential world going through the conditioned Dhamma. The conditioned Dhamma has its own, what they call nature's law that governs life and existence, like the law of karma and all those things. But it has nothing to do with the permanent, unchanging entity or ego that you can cling on to, grasp onto, and hold on to. So all this will be severe. Then the faith in the triple gem also become unshakable. So this one you already developed earlier on. That's why immediately once Sakayaditi is rooted out, it will understand the second fetter, it will understand the third fetter. Then from there, to move on to the second stage of sainthood is relatively easy already. Well, once you can do this, the next 2 fetters that bind the living being to this existential world is, they call it anger, sensual desire and anger. So these 2, on the second stage of sainthood, you only have to attenuate it. Understand? Attenuate means reduce it, not completely rooted out yet. Only at the 3rd stage of sainthood, anagami stage, is sensual desire and ill will completely rooted out, the first 5 fetters. So at the anagami stage, you still have 5 more fetters to actually root out. And that one can only be rooted out when you realize arahantaship. So the last 5 fetters is, first 2, attachment to form and formless jhana. Then the 8th one is mana, minor conceit. You may still have this minor conceit, thinking that, you are already an Arya, anagami, other people not just. So that minor conceit, you will hold it. Then there is a 9 fetters, even anagami experience them. The Buddha called it restlessness of mind. For no reason, the mind becomes restless. Sometimes it comes as a test. Which you have not completely rooted out avijja, ignorance. That's why that restlessness of mind, it can still come and haunt the anagami. Then the last fetter, of course, is complete rooting out of ignorance. avijja. Okay? Then after these two, which is what my unique code 103 is all about, that's why I say, once you have developed this sati sampajana, you will have sense restraint, and you cannot break the precept. Because the mind with the initial wisdom, or wisdom born of sati sampajana, your thought process, speech and action are all in accordance with Noble Eightfold Path, leading to one's ability to arise the three way of right conduct as explained by me. Well, by then you would have cultivated the four right effort, leading to all those things. So this code, unique code 103, is derived from the Avijja Sutta. Okay? Then after this, you have to continue with the four foundation of mindfulness. That's why step 8 is sati patana, cultivation of the four foundation of mindfulness. The sati patana practice, four foundation mindfulness. Then step 9 is 7 factors of enlightenment. Then of course step 10 is enlightenment in the here and now. So that's how the enlightenment cycle can be developed through this 10 step of Avijja Sutta. That's the reason why when you read the Satipatthana Sutta, or the four foundation of mindfulness as taught by the Buddha, at the end of every of these foundation, the Buddha will mention, if you cultivate this, starting I think is 7 years, then keep on reducing until 7 months, then finally I think it's 7 days, if I'm not wrong. You will realize at least anagami is mentioned there. That's why you only do the four foundation of mindfulness after your sense restraint and the 3 types of right conduct. That's why under the Satipatthana Sutta, before you start your cultivation, the Buddha always used this word. After overcoming covetousness and grief, do you know what is that? Covetousness is sensual desire. And so, grief is your anger, your hatred, your sorrow, your lamentation. So, for you to have the ability to overcome covetousness and grief, you must be at least a Sotapan or a Sakadagami who has attenuated. That means at least a Sakadagami who has attenuated at least sensual desire and ill will, or covetousness and grief. So all these are in accordance with the teaching. That's why there is no discrepancy. Exactly. A lot of people don't understand why in the four foundation of mindfulness, the Buddha said, if you do this correctly over a period as mentioned by him, even 7 days possible, he said, then you would have realized at least anagamiship, if there is still some minor factors. Otherwise, you will become arahant straight away. That's why once you develop this four foundation of mindfulness, what happens is, under the fourth category of cultivation, mindfulness of Dhamma, there is one category of Dhamma, which is mindfulness of 7 factors of enlightenment. Means once you start to see with mindfulness this 7 factors of enlightenment, what does it mean? Means you are on the right path, understand? Otherwise, the factors of enlightenment that is responsible for enlightenment here and now cannot arise. Once you see them, you know you are destined for enlightenment. You are on the right track. Yes. That's why the 7 factors of enlightenment is very important. The first factor of enlightenment is what? Sati. So once you have developed, following the Abhijja Sutta, sati will definitely be there. That's why you will develop stability of sati, mindfulness, awareness. That's why our meditation is awareness-based, sati-based, not thought-based. So once you have the first enlightenment factor of sati, you can use it to investigate the Dhamma. Means all of the essential Dhamma or the true Dhamma that you have listened, you can actually investigate into it and put it to test. Then once they stand up to investigation, your faith in the Buddha and his teaching become unshakable. That's why step 2, if you have sati to investigate, then step 3 will manifest very fast. So what happens is, once you have this step 2, Dhamma investigation or Dhamma vichaya, to give rise to the faith in the Buddha and his teaching, what happens is it will make you go all out to cultivate this. That's why the third enlightenment factor is virya. From sati, you go to Dhamma investigation, then you stand up to investigation, then the virya will arise. It will drive you to cultivate. When you cultivate, not only you stabilize your sati, while your sati is being developed and stabilized, you will experience piti. Piti is the fourth enlightenment factor. Then from piti, you will not get trapped in sukhang, because with clear comprehension, you won't get trapped. So once there is piti, the fifth enlightenment factor, which is the silent mind, tranquility of mind, stillness of mind, passaddhi, will arise. That is the fifth enlightenment factor. Once passaddhi is there, that silent mind, that true mind, is what Huineng's first hallmark is. He realized it. So once your meditation develop the sati until it's so stable, then it becomes very quiet and very still. Then you will realize your true mind, your silent mind. And that is passaddhi. Tranquility of mind, stillness of mind, the silent mind, without thought. Then once that one stabilizes, your mind is unwavering, collected. That's how the sixth enlightenment factor, samadhi, arises. Once you have samadhi, at the moment of sense experience, this mind is collected, unwavering, it will not stir. There will not be any movement at all. Which means the cultivator of the way can see things as they are and awaken, or insight into phenomena to awaken. Or with that samadhi, it can see things as they are and develop the understanding. That's why all the essential Dhamma can be understood, can be realized, and awakened to. That's how the last factor enlightenment, equanimity or upekkha, come to be. Once you have this wisdom, your mind becomes equanimous, born of wisdom, not born of samadhi or a conditioned state. So that's how the whole teaching are all connected, related. Okay? Can follow? So listen to this sharing again, and you will understand the whole cultivation process. Okay, now is second session, meditation reporting, followed by whatever question you may have, or we may discuss what we have gone through today, Unique Dhamma Code 103, which is mainly related to Abhijja Sutta, step 6 and 7.
Good evening, Radio.
Yeah.
Mr. Steele and all Kalamitas.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Sui, for nominating me. Because can you hear me clear?
Can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm having quite a bad cough, so
Oh, okay.
I have cough afterwards, then I will just stop lah. I get
Yeah,
some
no
water.
problem. No problem. Yeah, take your time. Slowly. Yeah.
Um, tonight, Bharatiya sharing on Avijja Sutta has taken us to another level of
Yeah, yeah,
further
yeah. Much
understanding.
clearer now, isn't it? The whole thing.
Yes, especially on the four right effort that
Yes.
us that can enable us to be self-restrained,
Yeah.
sense
Sense
restraint,
restraint. Yeah. Then the
and
three type of right conduct. Yeah.
heading towards the three types of right conduct. It's not easy actually. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah. Not easy. That's why you must go through the cultivation to have that understanding. Otherwise, there is no way you can have sense restraint. The second right effort to develop the ability to prevent the arising of the unwholesome, wrong thought, wrong speech, and wrong action. That is
yeah.
the one that will lead to sense restraint.
Yes. And then due to certain anusaya, the latent tendency,
Yes,
we are always led away by this anusaya,
correct,
and then
correct.
the right
The
effort.
anusaya is the one that will cause you to stir and become heedless, to react to sense experience, because these are all the defilement. Then later on, after you have the initial wisdom to root it out, it is still active for a while, because this is what we call the random, the remainder, the habitual tendency that need a while to actually root it out. You need stability or wisdom to completely root it out. But you will come to know as a cultivator. Yeah, suddenly one day you realize the habitual tendency that initially caused you to stir or still move a bit, straight away that thing cannot happen already. Then you know you have cleared the habitual tendency already. Like I shared with you all last time, the college song in the early days. The moment I hear those songs, the old memory come back, and you enjoy the way you go through that college life. It's full of fun, joy. But these are all we call uh, sensual thought, understand not? With a lot of sensuality, joy, and all those things. These are not wisdom. These are not Dhamma. So this have your tendency. It take a while. I remember it took me almost after 1989. It took me almost a year to finally came to know. Once I hear all this song or what, it no more like last time already. Inside there, like no more music, nothing already. It's like hollow inside there, nothing. Then whatever you see, whatever people do, it cannot have that effect like last time already. Then you will come to know that this thing really can be completely rooted out. But that stage is not easy. I remember after the 9 months, when my Monday mind collapsed, then a few more months. That's why it take about a year. And then after that, I realized that thing all gone. So this is how the cultivation, like the Buddha shared, Pacetang Veditabo Vinohiti. These are the Dhamma that can be realized by the wise, each for themselves. And it can really stand up to investigation. And you will realize it on your own. Only the wise one can understand. That's why when you go through the correct cultivation, you no need to check with anybody else. You yourself, the form and mind that go through and develop the awakening and the realization, will know what this thing is on. That's why in the early day, I remember when I came out to share, a lot of the things that I teach, especially the later part of my sharing career, They are not in the book one, not written by anybody one, not something that is generally or popularly accepted one. But I dare to tell you, I dare to share with you. Why? Because this nature understand what that thing is. So now you start to see all those things that I share with you all, they actually concur with the teaching. They match everywhere. Especially after I located the Avijja Sutta. Actually, by chance, when I was doing the website, all of a sudden from the Google internet, this Avijja Sutta surfaced. I didn't know there was such a sutta until I saw it. Then I click on it. After I click on it, I say, "Oh, no wonder the Buddha is so wise." Straight away, I understood what that thing is. That's why I put it under the website. Then I put in the enlightenment cycle and the delusional cycle. So the avijja cycle and the enlightenment cycle are the two cycles that can be clearly understood and developed through cultivation. If you don't have the cultivation, the enlightenment cycle is not possible. But to fall into the delusion cycle or ignorance cycle is very easy, very easy. So when you don't have all this stated in the Avijja Sutta, the enlightenment cycle, then you will fall. You will fall. That's why the five mental hindrance, they will engulf you. If you don't have wisdom, understanding, the five mental hindrance, actually that is the one that starts the Avijja cycle. It's because you lack the five spiritual faculty. And when you lack the five spiritual faculty, it will condition you to react to sense experience. Then you will not have sense restraint, you will not have yoniso manasikara, you will not have sati sampajana, you will not have all the other, until finally you don't have Dhamma friend. So the starting point is always having Dhamma friends. You can't hear the sutta because you don't have Dhamma friends. So the reverse cycle, you go back, you go through, you will see the beauty of the teaching. So like what Eng Bee came to realize today, because I explained it in more detail, and you correctly identify the four right effort that was taught in a slightly different manner to link you to this Avijja Sutta. That's why you will have a lot of joy when you can understand. Okay, Ivy, you continue.
Yeah, then there's what, but you always said the the right way of living, the living Dhamma
Yes,
is a secret of life that Buddha
yes,
has taught to us, the Noble Eightfold Path.
yes, 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 yes.
So that
Very
Noble
true. Yeah.
Eightfold Path, all the right way of living is
Yes,
really the secret. Teach us how to live life with wholesomeness, with skillfulness, to
yes,
avoid all evil,
yes.
cultivate all wholesomeness,
Yeah.
living to
Purify
their
the mind.
and purify our mind. Do good
Study.
and purify our mind. So all these are really connected
Yeah,
all connected
yeah, yeah. The whole
together.
teaching is connected. Your Noble Eightfold Path is basically Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, the advice of the Buddha. Uh, and when you understand that, you know how to overcome all of your life problems. And when you understand the Four Noble Truths, the three turning, develop all the wisdom, you understand life, you know how to live life. That's why they are all beautifully connected. Then the four circle formation actually bring out the understanding of how living beings form from the source, how the pure awareness came out and you lost touch of what that nature is. That's why everybody get caught in the mundane mind. And that is what samsara is. The mundane mind keep on taking rebirth. That's why that form am I Mundane mind become a traveler in space and time, like unending. That's why it's called samsara, the cycle of birth and death. You cannot break free from that cycle. It's just like the cycle of poverty. When you are caught in it, you cannot break free, you cannot jump out. So the samsara cycle is the same cycle of birth and death unless you awaken and realize Arhanship and beyond. You cannot actually come out of it. So to be free of samsara, you must return all external phenomenal world's creation back to the true mind, the silent mind, the awareness nature. Then from there you realize without the creation from that pure nature, there is no samsara. There is no mundane mind to project into the phenomenal world of consciousness. That's why once you return, everything ceases. Complete cessation of form and mind. That's what Nibbana is. Then you realize not only your pure nature, your true mind, which enable you to develop the meditative wisdom, then that wisdom enable the mundane mind to realize itself and cease. Then when it ceases with the complete wisdom, the mundane mind not only cease, the pure awareness nature also cease. That's how you return to the source. That's why sometimes they call the source Nibbana, the unconditioned and all these things. Complete cessation of form and mind. So all this understanding, you can only develop it if you go the Bodhisattva way. If you are able to develop the fourth support, which is trust, then from there you will understand a lot more. The fourth circle formation, or especially at the second circle, the pure awareness nature here. Here, like I explained last time, only the Bodhisattva and the great being, they do a lot of cultivation here. They illuminate their nature. They develop the ability to locate the gateway and do up all the internal transformation and movement. So once they are here, they cultivate very extensively to understand that this nature is capable of a lot of understanding that is way beyond the mundane thinking, which is basically limited knowledge, thought. That's why thought-based knowledge is full of not only knowledge, conditioning, belief system, views, opinion, conditioning. And all these are the duality that actually entangle the living being. That's why this nature, when it completely awakens, the pure awareness nature, the Bodhisattva path is very, very rewarding and very beautiful, meaningful. But this one can awaken until very exceptional. That's why I have been hinting to you in the early day. This nature, when you have the ability to cultivate the true awareness, it will become very, very amazing, very beautiful. The book that is coming out, that one, I describe them. You should wait for the book, then you read them, then you will have the joy of your life. So this is how the big difference between the sainthood way and the supreme vehicle teaching and cultivation. For the sainthood way, they only have a glimpse of this pure awareness nature, then a glimpse of cessation, which is the source of Nibbana nature. They don't really locate the gateway to go in to develop the cultivation. That is the big difference, and really, really very big. That's why sometimes I say you cannot blame the mind for saying the sainthood way is superficial wisdom, whereas what they call the Bodhisattva way is they use the word what profound prajna. One is superficial, one is profound prajna. So when you understand this, you will understand why they use such word. It's not to say they try to look down upon the Theravada teaching. No, the Theravada teaching, like I explained, is a very good foundation. The essential Dhamma that the Buddha teach, you can find it in the Theravada teaching, is very complete. And with that, you can penetrate and finally go the Bodhisattva way. That's why in the Lotus Sutta that I'm sharing in the Tuesday class, the Buddha actually mentioned about it. Why initially the provisional teaching, then the expedient devices, skillful means, all those things. Then from there, only he slowly revealed all the subsequent teaching which end up with the supreme vehicle teaching. That's why Alicia also developed a lot of joy. I think last Tuesday class, he texted me personally. He said, Rahatil, the next volume, I think volume 4, on the parables, she like full of joy, waiting for that sharing. She said, looking forward to that sharing. That one will be very important. It's how the Buddha used the skillful means, provisional teaching, to actually take them and bring them to the what they call supreme vehicle teaching. So the parable was like a burning house. But the children still playing inside there. So this burning house is like I explained, the phenomenal world of consciousness. To a lot of people, this existential world, like, wow, full of sensuality and beautiful thing, like very real. But they didn't realize it's a burning existence, where everything is burning, like the Buddha mentioned, under the what they call fire summon. The eye is burning, sense data coming in is burning, consciousness is burning. But with what is it burning? The three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. So all these things are actually here now. To the enlightened being, they know every moment of perception is actually potential causes and conditions for you to actually fall into delusion and get yourself entangled with the burning. We call it the burning hell. But you may think this is good life. A lot of beautiful things. But as you go through the first noble truth reality, then you suffer, then you realize this is hell actually. Then through all this, how the Buddha actually through the skillful means, using the toy and the card to actually lure them out and tell them there are better toy and other things. Ask them to go aboard the cart and then they cut them out and teach them the higher teaching. Then when they understand the higher teaching, they look back, then they realize, wow, how not the deluded living being all get trapped within the phenomenal world of consciousness. But this phenomenal world of consciousness is where all the enticing, luring, and we call what word last time I used to tell Jin Hao? Dog eat dog is another one. There's another word. What word already? I forgot. I told you now. Mad word.
PWC.
Yeah, PWC. What is the English word I told you already? No. Mad word. Is it mad word or what?
Hell.
No, it's like crazy on this place. Full of crazy things. That's why all these are very beautiful analogy. When we go through volume 4, you will enjoy it. Because he give a lot of example. And then later on there will be a lot of prediction, all becoming Sammasambuddha. Let's see share.
I'm not sure, I haven't read in advance, but I'm thinking the phenomenal world of consciousness. The analogy that everything is burning inside the house. I thought this analogy would be useful to share. When that was mentioned just now, the impression I got was that our physical body is deteriorating moment to moment. That is one example of the burning house. When we are young and we are still healthy,
you don't perceive it.
Until maybe until 40, maybe until 50, it might still be healthy. Then we still don't feel the burn. But when our memory, our brain cells, our knowledge, either they lose their capacity to perform, or we start to become obsolete. Our senses, our taste, our hands, and our feet start to lose their strength. That is when we see the fire, we are already burnt. And we too late to get out of the house. Example I wanted to share.
Sadhu, very good. That's why when you have the Dhamma understanding, the mindfulness will make you more sensitive. Then, like just now I mentioned, when you confront the first noble truth reality, the 8 realities, you will start to develop a lot of understanding of why the Buddha said that is the burning hell. Everything is burning. It's like your house is completely under fire. The house is burning. But because you think otherwise, you still happily enjoying the sensual desire, the manifestation of the phenomenal world of consciousness. Like there is a lot of meaning to it, a lot of things to attach, to cling, to grasp, to strive for, to compete, and to get. Then as you go through life, you entangle more and more with the first noble truth reality. Then especially when disease, sickness, pending death, when they surface, that time the torment, the suffering, the misery, they will actually surface. That's why we need to constantly reflect and contemplate into life. Is because of that. When you do that, you realize with the Dhamma understanding, everything is really burning. But don't be mistaken. Life is not just suffering. No. There is such thing as life, like I explained. And life can has its aspect of beauty. Just like the Heart Sutta, when you realize true wisdom or true emptiness, 真空妙有. True emptiness is wonderful existence. Then existence becomes wonderful. It can only happen when you have the Dhamma understanding, when you have realized, when you have awakened. Then you can get to live the third phase of Dhamma, Pativeda. That's why I said, when you awaken to this Dhamma, to this teaching, then life becomes meaningful, wonderful. Then everything like take a turn. Then you can actually live life to the fullest. You can realize the pristine wonder and beauty of lives. Then you can actually live it moment to moment, especially the third phase after you have awakened. Like for my life, since 1989 until now, it has been beautiful 30 over years of phase 3 Dhamma Pativeda. And this is a living reality. It can manifest, it can happen despite all this, what they call happening within the conditioned world. So that brings me the analogy of the lotus. You remember the lotus? From the muddy pond it arises, and yet it can stand above flower, blossom, and be free from the what they call dirt within the pond. And that is like developing the wisdom and the understanding to transcend the filthy pond. Understand? And with the Dhamma understanding, you can stand above and really observe, see, understand, and live. Because the Bodhisattva way, the wisdom, the perfection, they are very unique, very, very unique and very different from what is being taught by normal people, especially mundane people who don't have the cultivation and understanding. They think the process is very long. They want to give up. They say they want to stop. They want to realize sainthood enough. I mean, the choice is there for them to make. But when you understand how beautiful and rewarding the Supreme Vehicle Way is, then you will become completely different in your approach and understanding. That's why in the Lotus Sutta, the Buddha mentioned, those who don't have the understanding and the condition, they will not be there. That's why they walk out. And after they walk out, the Buddha reached the volume 3 towards the end. He told all of them. He actually made the prediction, no? All of them who stay back, of course you have to be there listening to the Lotus Sutta, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta as proclaimed by the Buddha, to have that causes and condition to receive that prediction. All of them will become Sammasambuddha in the distant future. And that is the potency of that Lotus Sutta. That's why all these are very beautiful. So we rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sorry, Eng Bee, you continue. I interrupt you for quite long.
It's okay. Relieve me from my cough just now also.
Oh, yeah.
Good,
Sadhu.
good to hear the sharing by Sister Sui also just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, when I'm having this cough, I can really sometimes the condition is good, sometimes it's not so good. That's why the anicca is there.
Correct.
When I was relieved a bit by there's no phlegm in the throat, no itchiness.
Yeah.
So I really feel very good. I said, wow.
That is
Really,
life, understand? When you are free of disease, sickness, you really rejoice with the blessing that you have, understand?
yeah, and appreciate it very much.
The word is correct, appreciative of life. Like I always share at my age, coming to 70, I still have such good body and for my mind, to serve me and to enable me to live this third phase of Dhamma so beautifully. Really, like you cannot find. It's like so beautiful. And gratitude, 感恩, appreciative. And sometimes, like I tell you all, I can sit at home alone, and I look at the marvel of life, especially my own house, my own building and all those things that I actually renovate and do it out for my family. Then with all the things that unfold over the last 20 years of Dhamma sharing, Kalyamitashi, and all this wholesomeness, it's really like a marvel, like something you cannot like you cannot even dream of, if they allow you to plan yourself. But it just unfolds so naturally, and everything just fall into place, like the website and all those things, the teaching, the sharing, to come to what we are doing now, over this short period of 19 over to 20 years. I tell you, it's short of a miracle. For the teaching to reach this level of understanding, you cannot find already, I tell you. That's why it's all very beautiful. Sadhu, Eng Bee, your sharing on this part is very good. Appreciative of life. That's why our form and mind, sometimes I add a bit more. Our form and mind, you look at it, it's actually a vehicle and a tool, not only for you to come to this existential world. It's actually a trap for living beings who have negative karma. Without this, you won't suffer. And because you have this, you don't take care of karma, I tell you. Those people who don't take care of karma, upside down on their life, they suffer a lot. I tell you. To have this type of blessing, to be born as a human being in the sasana, have the Dhamma understanding and able to live this type of life, the living Dhamma, to be what you are, is a true blessing that you can never find. That's why it's very, very unique. That's why the opening verse of the Mahayana Sutta, really, you may think it's exaggerated, 100 or million of eons, you cannot come across this teaching. And that is precisely what this teaching is all about. But this is a supreme vehicle teaching. Okay, Eng Bee, pass back to you. Sadhu.
Yeah, thank you, Vaidyo. That's why it is two sides of the coin.
Yes.
One is really totally relief,
Yes.
like kind of a realization of no more sickness or no more uneasiness. That type of free
Yes.
mind. Yeah.
Yes.
The other side of the coin is suffering, like burning, like what Vaidyo
Yeah.
burning. My throat is burning very tight when cough is coming. Very itchy.
Yeah.
It's like 锁喉啊，怎么讲？
Yeah. Correct.
Locking the throat is whole thing is
Correct.
locking.
Yeah.
The cough cannot come out.
Yeah.
Wow, really is burning sensation inside.
Correct.
Sometimes when the condition is good, when suddenly it relieves, the whole thing just soothingly cool.
Yeah, disappear.
It's totally the other side of the coin.
Correct.
So it's very. I realized also from one of the, I can't remember where we fall. That's the same spot where we stand up.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is a saying to that, I remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
从那里跌倒就从那里站起来。
Yeah, 对.
Yeah, so that's why all this Buddha's teaching, the Dhamma, is teaching us to face it, acknowledge it, and then how to say, face it, acknowledge it, and then
confront it.
Do not be affected. It just
Correct.
Like acceptance.
Correct. Through wisdom and understanding.
Yes.
Because when we can confront them, means we have the wisdom to actually live it. The living reality is very important because the body is just a body. Like when we go through the eighth reality, when it hit, it's no problem when you have the Dhamma already. Even your throat, you can give it a try. You just maintain awareness. Then you realize the knowing of how bad the throat is and the burning sensation of things actually come from your sankhara, your thought process. Because that is the one that perceives. But because you have the wisdom, you know the body is the body. It goes the way of nature. Condition like that, things will be like that. Then the understanding will actually emerge. You have two choices, like I always say. Accept, be at peace with it, and move on. But then you realize you do what you have to do on this. You need to seek treatment, seek whatever, you will seek. But you will not rush it. You will not get emotional or negative away. All this no more. You can just endure. And sometimes I remember I just laugh away. But this is the reality. And when you have taken care of karma, the cure will come. People will give you the right advice, or you will meet the right people with the right medication or what, then you will recover. And once you recover, then you compare back to what the second turning wisdom is. The Buddha said, this noble truth or dukkha is to be understood. And now you are starting to understand it. How the form, going the way of nature, can trigger off such, like you say, the burning is really very wholesome. The Cantonese word is inside there tormenting you. But when you have the Dharma, you can accept it. You can actually be with it and realize it's moment to moment, the knowing of it. But when you completely relax and be with it, during those moments, that so-called what is that word here? The effect of it, like tormenting you, is not there. It's not there. But that free mind that is in sati, aware, actually can overcome it. But it come back very fast because it's like chronic inside, understand? I remember last time before I did the operation of my fistula in my buttock, 1996. That pain actually is very severe one, exacerbating severe one, because it has become like 发炎. 发炎 is called what? Inflame, septic, inflame. Not only inflame, septic, 发炎 inside there, chronic. So that nerve, very what, normal people cannot take it. It's very painful. I can just relax into it, silent, and endure. Like the Dhamma that the Buddha teaches, suffering when it arises, you have to endure, Well, while the cure comes, before the cure comes, before the whatever comes, you have to endure, no choice. So when you can go through that, then you will understand why the Buddha said, this noble truth or dukkha is to be understood. So that when they arise, it will not have any effect on you. You not only will not grasp and cling, that wisdom actually completely free you. Body is just a body. Go the way of nature. Finish. Then sometimes even pending death or very severe like bodily damage or what, because in the early day when I was going through the cultivation, actually it showed it to me, through my consciousness, that it's like a dream state, but it's actually not a dream state, it's an altered state of consciousness where it showed it to me. And my body like subject to all the corrosive burning water in the pond. But I just walk down. There I don't feel anything. There are a lot of things, like it tests me, how my consciousness went up to very high, then suddenly it died down. There is no fear, nothing, because of the understanding. And these are the tests that will come. Then for Eng Bee's case, it's good to do it in the real life, what they call going through disease, sickness, suffering, and all those things. You maintain awareness and develop the understanding. And all this can become very beautiful. I remember during the early 89, 90, those few years, I actually very happy when I fall sick. But that time, because of the pure energy, I hardly fall sick. Then I had to wait till 1996, where my buttock thing. Then I learned, I go through all the. That's why, because of that, I can share all this with you all. So, Eng Bee, you can try to summarize where I heard the alarm just now.
Yeah, it's already past 10:30 already.
Yeah. You can summarize.
Uh, so in fact, I also beside accepting the throat is itchy, is coughing, I endure for about 3 days. Then only yesterday I went to see a Chinese sensei to get some powder form of medicine.
Yeah.
So after taking that powdery medicine is getting better already now.
It will
It's
improve.
relieved a lot.
Improve.
Yeah, it relieved a lot of my condition. So
Yeah.
I think that's about all for this sharing tonight.
Sadhu,
I thank
sadhu.
Radio and
Thank you.
all Kalamitas. Thank you very much.
Let us rejoice. Sadhu. Another advice is, Ibi, gargle. Go and do
Hot
more
water.
gargle.
Yes. Every night, every morning.
You must gargle your throat. Because during this phase, for it to heal, the gargling is very important.
Yes. And in fact, in the morning when I gargle, the yellow phlegm will come out and then
All this will come out.
immediately
Because this
release.
is the phase where it starts to develop the healing process. In fact, when we came back from Xinjiang, all of them were sick, the whole bus. And I was lucky, I was the last one to fall sick. Not really sick. I can still endure, but I know my throat. I started sensing a problem already. That's why when I came back, I rested, then I gargled, then I actually recovered quite fast. Okay, very good. So let us now share merits, transfer merit. Then after that, we will end the whole Zoom session. Akasata ca bhumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakantu lokasasana ittavata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo devo asatu kalena sasu sampati hetu cha pito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu. Okay, let us now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy one. Then we end. Sadhu.